This is Anthony Priscilla doing a little trigonometry with my trig class today. Today we're looking at the sum and difference identities for sine, cosine, and tangent. There's 6 identities here, but not really. Really, there's only 3. We're going to have an identity. I'll state this one first. Sine A plus B. Looks like this. It's sine A cosine B plus cosine A sine B. For sine A minus B, it's sine A cosine B minus cosine A sine B. So sine, cosine, cosine, sine. Notice I'm always going to go angle A, then B. First angle, second angle, first angle, second angle. If you always go like that, then there's a pattern here. Sine, cosine, cosine, sine. The symbol that's in the middle is the same symbol that you have over here. So this is really just one identity. Sine, cosine, cosine, sine, same symbol in the middle. Now, for cosine A plus B, the pattern is this. Cosine A, cosine B, change sine A, sine B. Sine, cosine, cosine, sine, sine. I got my patterns mixed up. Sine A plus B. Sine, cosine, sine, same symbol in the middle. For cosine, cosine, sine, sine. You're going to change the symbol in the middle. So the identity for cosine A minus B, cosine plus sine, sine. Same symbol in the middle. Not same, change the symbol in the middle. The way you can remember that for sine, you keep the same symbol, and cosine, you change the symbol, the plus and minus sign, is sine begins with this, sine begins with this. Cosine begins with C, change begins with C. So the patterns are sine, cosine, sine, same symbol in the middle. Cosine, sine, sine, change the symbol in the middle. And most people remember that sine begins with sine, cosine begins with cosine. Now for tangent A plus B, the pattern isn't quite as repetitive. It's tangent A plus tangent B over 1 minus tangent A times tangent B. So you'll notice that you're keeping the same symbol up on top and you're changing the symbol on the bottom. Now how can you remember that? Same symbol, change the symbol, same symbol on top, change the symbol on the bottom. Just think of the definition of tangent. The way we say tangent is sine over cosine, or if you want to think of that as the quotient identity that we stated. But so often students think of the definition of tangent as sine over cosine. Having seen that, you can guess the identity for tangent A minus B. The functions stay the same. All that changes are those SI-GN signs on the top and the bottom. Same symbol on the top, change the symbol on the bottom. Now we're going to do a few examples. working with these identities now, how about this problem number 12 right here? I wonder if y'all can see it. Problem number 12. Let me see if I can zoom in a little and get it, well. Oh, wow. It says, a lot of instructions, graph and conjecture and identity. Well, we're just going to do it with the, use the identity, okay? Sine 3 pi over 2 minus x. That's, first, which identity am I using? Well, I'm using the sine, cosine, cosine, sine, same symbol in the middle. Sine, cosine, same symbol, cosine, sine. Sine, cosine, cosine, sine, same symbol in the middle. Now for 3 pi over 2, I'm just going to think of the unit circle. 3 pi over 2, that's 270 degrees. This ordered pair would be over 0, down 1. So sine 3 pi over 2, remember these are in alphabetical order. So there's cosine. Cosine 3 pi over 2 is 0. Sine 3 pi over 2 is negative 1. So we have negative 1 times cosine x minus 0 times sine x. So that's just going to wind up with a negative cosine x on that one. Negative cosine x. And we're sort of running out of time. Let me see if there's another one I can do real quickly. Here's a tangent one, number 10. Tangent 30 degrees plus w. Well, that's tangent A. Remember, it's same symbol over, change the symbol. Tangent A plus tangent B over 1 minus tangent A times tangent B. So replace tangent 30 degrees with its exact value. Let's see, what would tangent 30 degrees be? Well, thinking of the unit circle, at 30 degrees, this point of intersection right here is right square root of 3 over 2 up a half. And so tangent 30 degrees, that would be sine over cosine, 1/2 over the square root of 3 over 2. And you can multiply above and below by 2 to get 1 over the square root of 3. And normally I would rationalize that, but it looks like the answer choices aren't rationalizing it. So, okay, I think it's going to fall out real quickly then. Replacing tangent 30 degrees with 1 over the square root of 3. We have 1 over the square root of 3 plus tangent w over 1 minus, replace tangent 30 degrees with 1 over the square root of 3 times tangent w. And so that's going to be, it's sort of C here. Okay, there goes my motion detector kicking in and cutting off the lights in the room. But that's all we have time for right now. So 7 different identities. There's no way around. You need to memorize these patterns. They first look intimidating, but they're really not. Sine, cosine, cosine, sine, same symbol in the middle. Same begins with S, just like sine. Cosine, cosine, sine, sine. Change the symbol in the middle. The word change begins with C, just like cosine. tangent A plus tangent B over 1 minus tangent A times tangent B. It's the identity for tangent A plus B. So same symbol on top that's in the parentheses, and then change the symbol. Tangent is sine over cosine. Make sure you realize that you cannot, red X means this is wrong. You cannot do this. Just distribute that SIN as if you were multiplying here. This is a common wrong mistake. You can't just distribute SIN to get rid of those parentheses. So how do we get rid of these parentheses? By using one of these identities. Okay? This is Anthony Purcell, and we're out of time right now. So work on this sum and difference identity stuff.